Hi everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Lily channel. So today, for the first time in a long time, we are going to be doing a video centered all around newly released Canmake products. Why? Because Canmake gets views, okay? I mean, let's just call it like it is. And I need some of those. Although they are not like my favorite brand in the world, you know, I do have my own, some would say harsh, I would say very justified criticisms of particularly their eyeshadow formulas. You know, we do have to give them their props. There's a reason that they have been around and dominated the Japanese drugstore makeup game for so long, despite my own personal underwhelming feelings about, like I said, their eyeshadow formulas in particular. They do have some consistent bangers in their lineup that I have actually been a huge fan of throughout the years. Let's not waste any more time and just dive into this. First, I'm trying out the new Canmake Luminous Luna Compact, and this definitely looks like it was inspired by Sailor Moon. So this is a limited edition, like dual cream foundation slash highlighter compact, and you see even the inside is designed in the shape of a crescent moon, with the moon portion being the highlight and the rest of it being the foundation. Now unfortunately there are only 2 different shade variations for this, which is, it would be appalling in the Western market, but hey, it's a Japanese makeup brand, so what do we really expect? I purchased the color G01 light beige, and then they also have a G02 which is just beige. So this compact claims to be able to give you like your own customizable level of tsuyahara, moist looking, you know, dewy looking skin, basically glass skin. The compact is very cute and high quality. It's like a beige plastic, and then on the inside you get these 2 different stories, teardrop shaped puff that comes with it, which is also really cute. If you look closely, there's like moon designs on the band here. You can't knock Canmake for their packaging detail, okay, regardless of what you might say about their formula. And then underneath the top layer, of course, you have a mirror and the actual cream foundation and cream highlight. The instructions here say that first you should mix both of the colors together. Like you should start from pressing down your puff on the highlighting side and then drag it across to the cream side, and then that should be your first layer, right? Like a mixture of those 2. And then later on it says that you can go over the areas that you want to conceal more with just the foundation color, and then you can of course go and highlight the areas of your face that you want to be a little more luminous. I personally don't really think that first step is necessary. I'm just gonna go straight in with the foundation. I don't really like the idea of mixing in a highlighter with my foundation. I know some people like to do that, and like, who knows, I might even be in the rare mood for that on occasion, but this is not one of those occasions. I just want to have like a normal looking face. So I'm just gonna apply this to the left side of my face so that we can have a comparison later on. This puff is actually really decent and easy to use, and it definitely gets into the small crevices there, like around my nose and the corners of my mouth. If I was just normally doing my makeup at home though, I would, in all honesty, just reach for my regular foundation brush, but since we're trying to do a demonstration here, I'm gonna use the puff that came in the compact. Okay, so that is what my skin on the left side looks like with just the foundation color on. I think that actually looks really nice. It's not as shiny as I was maybe expecting it to be. I was afraid that it might come off a little too greasy or shiny just because of the way it's marketed. Like, it literally says that it's gonna give you glistening skin. So that can be a hit or miss sometimes, right? Depending on your skin type. Although you never really can tell unless you've had the product on for a few hours. But I'm just gonna go in and add highlight to my cheekbones, and then also I guess like up here a little bit in the T-zone area. Okay, so far so good. I'm actually liking this a lot more than I thought I would initially. Yeah, it's a really beautiful, like very subtle luminous finish, like especially after it settles in a little more. Again, we won't know until the time has actually passed, but I can definitely see that natural glass skin type of effect going on. I'm a happy camper so far. Let us move on to Canmake Perfect Stylist eyes. Y'all know I've had a bumpy relationship road with this one, but they released yet another limited edition color. I'm not gonna say limited edition anymore. Let's just assume that everything I'm reviewing from Canmake is limited edition, whether it is or not, because, you know, even when they do release things under limited quantities, supposedly, well, first of all, they rarely ever sell out to the point that you can't find them ever again. Like, typically there's always 1 or 2 drugstores somewhere that carries exactly what you're looking for, even if it was a limited quantities item. And then second of all, 50% of the time they bring things back anyway by popular demand. So
bitch, I'm back. I'm popular demand.
I'm just gonna ignore all that, but technically, just for your information, you know, this is number 28, so this is the newest installment in their Perfect Stylist Eyes line. The name is Raspberry Tart, which makes me really hungry. This one caught my eye in particular because it includes both a terracotta and a more like mauve-y Bordeaux type of reddish tone. Terracotta and like a Bordeaux red are 2 of my favorite shades of eyeshadow ever. I just feel like it works really, really well against my skin tone. Chances are, even if the formulation is like subpar or average, as long as it's in a terracotta or a Bordeaux tone, I can pretty much make it work. That's why I was drawn to this one. So this comes in the standard Perfect Stylist Eyes format of 3 matte shades, and then kind of like a more creamy metallic, and of course you have the center top coat type of shade, which is typically has more chunky glitters. I have honestly never come across a shade of this center top coat right here in the Canmake line that I have liked. I mean, in this day and age, I just feel like there's much better options out there in terms of a glittery top coat. Even if you want something more natural, there's like other brands that do it way better than Canmake, but hey, this is like less than 1,000 yen. So anyway, let's go ahead and apply this on my eyes. So I'm starting off by priming my eyes with the Canmake Eye Cream Primer. I really like this actually because it's very moisturizing. It does help eyeshadow stick very well in my opinion. We are going straight in with that vibrant terracotta shade C there because I want this to be basically the focal shade of the entire look. As you can see, the pigmentation is definitely there with this particular color variation, Raspberry Tart. After liberally sweeping that all over my lid, I'm going to go in with the Creamy Touch liner in number 5. The shade is called Bitter Caramel, and I think it matches the terracotta vibes of this palette perfectly. I've been doing this little trick here where I draw like a little triangle on the inner corner of my eye to give it a more lengthening effect. And I also wanted to lay down a cream liner before placing on the darker shadow to create that gradient effect at the base of my lashes. Although this particular color story is very pigmented, especially when compared to the other variations in the Perfect Stylist Eyes line, it's still the same Canmake eyeshadow formula, which means that even the darkest shade in a pan can only build up to a certain opacity, if that makes sense. So in order to give myself the level of depth and dimension that I want on that darker D shade, I'm basically using the Creamy Touch liner as a base for the eyeshadow to latch onto, and I find that this technique really works well to achieve the final result that I want. The E top coat shade down the center here was a flaky, dry mess as expected, so to amp up the glitter line that I'm trying to draw here, I'm going to add on top of that the Aurora Cocktail glitter later on, but first I'm drawing in my tear bags with yet another Canmake staple. This is their Slim Eye Rouge liner in 02 Sheer Orange. I also have this in 01 Pure Red. They are super natural and light and perfect for emphasizing the aegyosal tear bag area. And here I'm adding another newly purchased Canmake item, the Aurora Cocktail Glitter in 02. This one is called Moscow Mule. As you can see, it's a pale gold liquid glitter. I also have the shade 03. So we have the Cranberry Sangria, the Raspberry Tart with the eyeshadow palette. It just seems like a very berry day for us. As far as liquid glitters go, these are pretty standard. I like how they have different sized glitters within it. Like the base is comprised of smaller glitter particles, but there's also the larger circular pieces sprinkled throughout. Although to be blunt, there's really nothing special about these Canmake glitters that make them stand out against, you know, like the K-beauty glitters that are available on the market. Also, personally, I find that I prefer the look of pressed glitters, like dry ones, in an eyeshadow pan format over a liquid glitter. Although you definitely have that advantage of not having to worry about the glitter falling off after it dries down if it's in a liquid format, there's just something about the finished effect that I really don't like. It just looks too similar to dried down glue, in my opinion. I mean, that's basically what it is, right? Glitter glue. So yeah, I personally prefer like a drier pressed glitter type of situation, even though those tend to flake off more. I think the effect is just much more prettier and sophisticated looking, shall we say. And this is the final look, okay? Not Canmake having me out here feeling like the fall to winter transition it girl over here in my minimalist gray Steve Jobs style turtleneck, no less. Yes, I'm kind of in my Steve Jobs era right now. It's a whole thing, let's get into it. Okay, so there you have it. That was my little monthly obligatory revisit, whatever you want to call it, of the brand Canmake. I have to say that I'm very impressed. A very happy camper all around this time. I feel like you guys know how I feel about this brand already. I don't have to say it for the millionth time, but there's definitely like an element of hit or miss when it comes to their releases. Thankfully for me at this point, I feel like I have a pretty good sense of what's going to be a hit and what's going to be a miss before I even try the product, if you know what I mean. So when I just get that like intuition of, oh, this looks like this is going to be a good one, 9 times out of 10, I do end up being pretty happy that I decided to pick up whatever caught my eye from this brand. So let's see, if I had to rank the new items that I tried today, we're not going to include the normal offerings like the Creamy Touch liner or the tear bag eyeliners. If I had to rank these three, right, the cream foundation pact, the eyeshadow, and the okay, I can't find the other one, but the Aurora cocktail glitters, I would say that Perfect Stylist Eyes number 28 Raspberry Tart is number 1. Luminous Luna Pact in G01 is number 2. This is what I have on the left side of my face today, just as a reminder. And then the Aurora cocktail glitter would be 3rd place. I just don't think that you need this at all. I mean, if you're already a makeup connoisseur, a glitter connoisseur, if you will, if you're watching this channel, you're probably already into K-beauty and Asian beauty glitters to begin with. So yeah, I would say that this is nothing really revolutionary, nothing that you probably can't find already in your existing collection. Yeah, the Luminous Luna Pact, even though I ranked the eyeshadow as number 1, it's only because this one is, I guess, like the more universally appealing one. This one is obviously, it's unfortunately only available in like 2 different shades of a standard Asian skin tone. For me personally though, this is a very happy purchase. Well, first of all, you guys know I don't really have like a huge collection of foundations or anything like that. Right now, my main foundation, which I barely use anyway because most days I just go with a primer. I didn't use a primer today, by the way, because I wanted to see how this looked against my bare skin. But yeah, usually I go in with the Kogen Aqua foundation. I will say this doesn't wow me as much as it did when I first started using it. I don't know if it's because the formula is getting old or because my skin is changing, but yeah, this is like my main foundation. And then I also have this Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour Hydration Boost foundation. I don't remember the last time I touched this. Yeah, like I said, I really go light on the foundation these days. So that's kind of what drove me to purchase this, aside from the obviously really cute packaging and the Sailor Moon inspiration. Yeah, I don't have a lot of face products to begin with, and this looks like something, you know, provided that I like the performance, which so far I really do enjoy. This is something that I can actually see myself using up. It also has 7 different types of beauty oils, like essence oils, infused within the formula. So we love a skincare and, you know, skin coverage dual purpose moment. And it's compact, you know, it's in a cream format, so it's not messy. I can literally do my makeup on the go. Like if I have to run to do a dance show on a Shinkansen, the bullet train, at short notice, as long as I have this in my makeup bag, I can rest assured that my base makeup, okay, my skin is gonna be poppin'. And then like I said, the Perfect Stylist Eyes, you know, it's not perfect for me on its own because my main gripe with Canmake eyeshadows is that they just don't give enough depth. But again, that really depends on the color story. So this one in particular, I just felt like, how can you go wrong with this terracotta and Bordeaux combination? And then of course, just combined with the simple technique of pairing it with a similar colored eyeliner. I feel like the addition of this eyeliner, it gives me exactly that extra oomph that I want in the definition that I can't seem to quite get 100% out of with just the eyeshadows alone, even with such a rich color story. So yeah, I can't stand behind this Perfect Stylist eyes line as a whole.
And yeah, I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me, and I don't like any of you.
But as far as this number 28 Raspberry Tart, this one I can see myself getting so much use out of. Oh, and then there was one more new release that I think it came out, like it's in the same series or whatever as this Luminous Luna Pact, and that would be their new Minuto highlighters in 01 Moonlight Gem and 02 Rose Quartz. So those come in the same compact and format as their standard cream cheek blushes. These are a classic, right, from Canmake. I think everyone has at least one of these. So they've recently come out with 2 new highlighter colors in this format, and it's the same kind of like cream slash putty consistency. I was going to pick those up just for reference purposes, but then I was like, you know what, maybe my followers wouldn't mind if I saved some coin for myself and just swatched them in the store instead. So I'll insert some footage of my swatches from the store. It's nothing groundbreaking, honestly. I will say they are quite a bit more metallic and reflective than I was expecting, so I guess that's a good thing. I mean, I don't know if that would look slightly cheap on the actual cheeks, but anyway, if you're looking for that type of highlighter, if you don't have anything like that in your collection at the moment, sure, I would say go ahead and pick it up. Or if you're just like a Canmake fanatic and you want to collect everything that they ever release, then yeah, you're not going to lose out by purchasing these highlighters. It's not going to, like, it's not a bad product by any means, but just for me personally, I have so many highlighters already in my collection in every which way of a format that you can imagine: powder, cream, liquid, and then even in this new face cream foundation compact, they already have a highlighter portion built into it. So if I have this, like, I really don't need to purchase an extra. And honestly, I think this one works just fine, you know, if you're trying to get that subtle glass skin like glow. So yeah, you definitely don't need the Minuto highlighters in my humble opinion, but just in case you were curious, I did go ahead and swatch those discreetly in the store for you. The moral of the story is you can never go wrong with terracotta. I seriously don't think I've come across any person in the world that looks bad in terracotta. Like makeup for sure, but then also clothing wise, I feel like it's a universally flattering color. Like cool undertones, warmer undertones, lighter complexion, darker complexions, it doesn't matter. Terracotta will have you looking like that girl, you know? It's just like so sophisticated, so of the now. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of interested, if you are someone, if you feel like terracotta is not flattering on you, could you please comment below? Because I'm very curious to see if such a person actually exists, but I'm pretty sure they don't, because terracotta is just one of those universally flattering colors. Like it has that warmth, it has that vibrancy, but then it's neutral at the same time because it's still in the brown family. You really can't go wrong, in my opinion. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're gonna pick up any of these new releases by Canmake. Do you like this brand? Are you indifferent to it? Are you like me, where some of their products are holy grail status but some of them just really leave you scratching their head? Or are you one of those people that is like, as long as it's Japanese or Korean makeup, give it to me all?
From you looking at me, I got me to say you want me. When you gonna give it up to me?
Oh, one last thing though that I do think bears repeating. I just need to give Canmake their props for being cruelty-free, very clear and very consistent throughout the years on their stance that they don't test on animals and all of that stuff. So kudos to Canmake on that, because as you know, unfortunately, there are still several Japanese and Korean and Chinese, obviously, brands that are not cruelty-free. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of the customer base of these brands is based in China, right? I mean, it only makes sense. But anyway, that's a whole different discussion. Canmake is definitively cruelty-free though. They have answered officially to JAVA, which is the Japanese Anti-Vivisection Association. They've been on their cruelty-free list for many, many years. consistently. I stan that part of Canmake. I really, really do. Okay, thank you so much for watching as usual. I hope this was helpful and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!